Huh?
What happened to your camo cleats?
What camo cleats?
Little top secret?
You don't know. You can't see them.
Military appreciation. Man. Thank you.
Mike said that he thought that Sunday was probably one of your best games, looking at the way you were on third downs and things like that. What's the key for a quarterback to bottle that up and continue and not just be a flash here and there?
Well, I think it takes everybody. And offensive line did a great job keeping me upright the entire game, giving me passing lanes, and receivers were where they needed to be, and they made the big time catches. Pierre bailed me out a couple times on a couple throws, and there are other times I had to be on the money, and they made the plays. So I just think it takes everybody, and it's just getting in that flow of the game, and we got into that. We ran the ball, set up the run to help us with the pass, and then on third downs, that's where you have to stay on the field, and everybody was on top of it.
When you look back at it, did you feel like I was in that zone, or is it something that you're not conscious of?
I mean, not during the game. You kind of just feel, a certain way about the game. But looking back on it, yeah, I think we were in the zone on a lot of that stuff. That's why we were 71% on third down, which is not easy to do.
Robert, Leslie Frazier talked about Adrian Peterson's injury and saying he had him on a pitch count last year, and around November is when they really saw him back to his normal self. We're in November now, and obviously you play a different position, but are your conversations with your offensive staff similar? Like, I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling better, I'm feeling this right now, so we could do this instead?
No, I mean, I really don't have those conversations with our staff, but it's like you say, Adrian plays a different position. My college coach kind of said the same thing. He felt like after a few games, you get back into the swing of things. And coming off an injury, it's never easy, but you always believe you can go out and just be fine right away. And I think Adrian felt the same way. I talked to him multiple times, and the latter part of his year last year was an amazing run. And people don't even worry about the beginning of the season based on how it ended, and it ended with an MVP for him. And I'm not even focused on those kind of things. For us, it's just about winning, and it starts on Thursday. We got to get another win.
Hey, Robert, what do you think was the key to sustaining drives on Sunday?
I think it was third downs, and you would think, going, I think it was 12 or 17 on third down, that you would have a lot of short third down conversions, and we didn't really. We had some 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 10s, and guys just execute. You throw a 5-yard route, and a guy gets you 3 more yards to get a first down, and that's what it's going to take. Just everybody being on top of what they have to do, and then when they have that opportunity to make the play, they make it.
That was a problem earlier on in the year. What has changed on third down?
I just think, like I said, everybody being where they're supposed to be, knowing, run your route like you're the number one guy. Don't really look into the quarterback's progression. Don't look at the coverage and say, well, versus this coverage, I'm not going to be alive on this play. Just going about it every single way. If you got to check wide, run your check wide full speed. If you got to come back on the backside, and we never throw the comeback on the backside, this game we might throw it. So get to where you're supposed to be, and I just think everybody having that desire to go out and do their job individually has helped us.
Triple option before, but I'm not sure how many times we've seen 3 tight ends and the ways that you guys use them. What effect did that have ultimately on you and how defenses kind of defended you and maybe gave you different looks, or did it cause any extra problems for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be a little confusing for a defense, with their responsibilities, and it's not traditional. So when you get away from some of the traditional things, it can mess up a guy's keys, and you might have a guy or a play that works, and you get a big gash, and that's all you need. All you need is a couple big plays every game to kind of help you establish yourself and get in the rhythm as an offense. So that's where it kind of helps us, and you like to throw a wrinkle out there every now and then, and it was a good wrinkle for us.
This team coming off Sunday's win, but also on a day like today where you're trying to get ready, but no pads, and get your mental work in as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge mental week, and we had this experience last year going to our Thanksgiving game, and there's not much contact. You don't get to go out there and run every single play and get multiple reps at it. You kind of have to be on top of your studying, be on top of your film work, being in a short week. But the other team has the same situation. no one's going to feel sorry for you. You got to go out there, step up on Thursday, and go win the game.
I'm curious about the dynamic between you and Pierre, because he's very much an off-the-cuff guy. He'll say anything about the offense playing crappy or about what he thinks about your knee, and you were challenging him to a race earlier this year, jokingly, of course. And of course, obviously, on the field, you can't live without each other. I mean, he's your big go-to guy. I'm just wondering about the relationship between you two and the dynamic, the chemistry that you have, and how that meshes with your personalities.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we both want to win. And whenever you have two guys, your quarterback and your top receiver that want to win football games, they're going to be competitive. I think that's a great formula for success. And, Pierre's going to be Pierre, I'll be myself. And on that field together, we've shown that we can do some really good things. And it's not just P, it's the rest of those guys. And it takes all of us, and I can't say that enough. But he definitely stepped up big for us, made some great catches. And then the plays that were there to be made, he made them. And that's all you ask for out of your number one receiver. Go out there and make plays for us and help this team win. And he wants to help the team win, and that's what you have to see out of all that.
On Pierre again, he's played high level all season, but he seemed to really step it up a notch on Sunday. Did you sense that going in? Did you sense that during the week and during the game that, hey, this guy's really, really out to have a big day today?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we try to get him the ball as much as we can in every game to have him have those big days, those big games. And I think he caught 7 for 172, and that's a huge game for any receiver, and especially for him and in our offense. We set it up with the running game with Alfred and those guys, and DY, scoring those touchdowns. So you can pull guys up, and then you got to be able to throw it over the top. And he helped us in that area. So it was a huge game for him, huge game for us as an offense.
Hey, Robert, the other day, Sunday, I think was probably the first day you guys have been able to actually get the play action going because the running game helped out too. How much do you notice that as being? I know it's a big part of the offense, but when that's actually working, how much does that help you guys out?
I think it helps a lot. And in other games we've had opportunities to kind of get into that second level throwing, second and third level, and it just hadn't worked out. But everything was clicking for us this past week, and that's what you need. You need to have that balance to where you can run for 200 and throw for 200. Those are the kind of games that you look for. It doesn't happen very often, but anytime you can have that kind of balance and get your receivers involved, not only in the drop back on third down, but also in the play action, that's big.
Robert, I have two questions. Back to the short week. For you, is it more mental or physical trying to get worked up for Thursday? I
think the physical part is just your body recovering, so you got to get all the bumps and bruises out, the aches, whether it's through cold tub and foam rolling, stretching, getting some extra sleep, which is hard to do in a short week. I think that's the physical part, and then mentally it's just taking what you usually get in 5 days and then compressing it into 2 and getting ready for that game.
And Robert, clearly you don't play in Miami, but everyone is talking about the incognito Martin situation. I just wonder if you have a thought or reaction to and Tony's shaking his head, but I just want to know. I just want to know what I mean, as a football player, when you hear those words from one player to another player, what do you think?
Yeah, I can't touch that one. Bottom line is we're not in Miami. They have to deal with that. Their team's having to deal with that, and we got to deal with what we have to do up here.
In a locker room, in a different locker room, could it happen here? Would veterans take care of that?
Like I said, not touching that one, guys.
You guys are 3-5 now. You were 3-6 last year. Does this feel any way similar to that right before you guys went on that turnaround? And if yes, then how so? If not, then how does it not?
Well, I think the thing that's most similar aside from the record is which we don't want to be 3-6. So I think it's just the offense starting to gel. As a team, our defense is playing really well for us, getting turnovers, getting us the ball in good situations on the field. So we're winning those areas, and I think we're all coming together more as a team, which we thought throughout the whole offseason and through the preseason that we were setting ourselves up for a great season ahead, and it just didn't work out that way the first couple of weeks of the season. So I think that the team is just starting to feel a lot better about itself. Defense is playing well, offense is getting in the rhythm, and we've won a couple of tough games. So I think that's where guys can kind of feel like, hey, we can go on a run here and put ourselves in a good situation.
Do you still feel pressure, or is that because of the success of Sunday and starting to get things clicking, does that subside a little bit?
I don't know if there's pressure. Every time we step on that field, regardless of your record, you got to go out and perform at a high level. And I think because of our record, we know that we have to perform right now. There is no tomorrow for us, and I think that's the approach we took last year, and it benefited us. And we got to do the same thing this year. You don't want to put yourself in that situation, but for us, it's a must.
Robert, you had. You got into a real good groove in the second quarter in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day on the short week last year. Do you remember if it took you a little while to kind of settle down mentally, physically, get into a groove, get into a rhythm because of the lack of practice and the lack of time in between games, or anything like that jump out in your mind?
No, I just think the biggest part is, like we talked about, just getting your body back ready to go. It's a short week. It's a really short week. And this is what we have to do. This is what we do in the NFL now. So you got to play those short week games. And I think everybody's feeling okay. And then tomorrow they'll feel better, and on Thursday we'll peak.
Rob, Mike said yesterday that after watching the film, your opinion of what you did there on that third down, where you got 10 yards for the first down, might change a little bit. Did your opinion change at all when you watched the play on film?
Yeah, I watched it, and it's like he said, it's not something that you ideally want to do. It's just a heat of the moment thing, and I've tried this year to eliminate a lot of those kind of plays, and it just happened. So I took the first down. We needed that in that moment. Hindsight's 20/20, so maybe don't jump next time. But in that moment, when it's a tied game, that's what I had to do.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, guys.